What if being spoiled isn't about material wealth, but a powerful act of redefining value and self-worth? In today's video, we uncover the fascinating lives of 12 Black wives who've challenged stereotypes, rewritten societal norms, and shown the world what being spoiled truly means. Their stories will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Number 1, Folorunso Alakija.
No way that you can achieve anything by going that way.
Imagine starting your career as a humble secretary and climbing to become the richest woman in Africa. That's the reality for Folorunso Alakija, but her remarkable success hasn't come without its share of misconceptions. As a billionaire oil magnate, she's often labeled spoiled, a word that fails to reflect the grit and determination behind her wealth. Folorunso's rise began with hard work and strategy. Long before becoming a powerhouse in Nigeria's oil industry, she built her career in the fashion world, starting a tailoring business that served high-profile clients. This success laid the foundation for her leap into oil exploration, where her company, Famfa Oil, uncovered one of the largest offshore oil fields in Nigeria. Far from inheriting her fortune, she battled legal challenges and societal pushback to secure her family's stake in the industry. Yes, she owns a $46 million private jet, stacks her wrists with diamond-encrusted Cartier and Bulgari watches, and her statement jewelry often rivals royal collections. But this opulence isn't without intention. Despite her achievements, Folorunso faces pressures unique to Black women in positions of incredible wealth. Balancing her roles as a wife, mother, and leader, she weaves her faith and philanthropy into her daily life. Her commitment to education and healthcare initiatives has transformed countless lives, proving her wealth drives impact, not indulgence. What then defines being spoiled? For Folorunso, it's about using privileged success to elevate others. Who says luxury can't also serve a purpose? So, where does extravagance meet meaning when combined with bold fashion and global philanthropy? Number 2, Precious Moloi Motsepe. How does one go from prescribing medicine to prescribing trends on the runway? Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe is the answer. As a trained medical doctor, she spent years advocating for women's health, particularly in underserved communities.
To ensure that we stand together in ensuring that we can use.
But a seemingly unexpected pivot placed her in the center of Africa's luxury fashion scene, a move that left many labeling her spoiled. That label feels simplistic when you consider the transformative work she's done for both fashion and healthcare. Precious founded African Fashion International, AFI, with a bold vision to bring African designers to the forefront of global fashion. Under her leadership, AFI became a platform where homegrown talent could shine, opening the doors for designers to showcase their work in markets far beyond the continent. Her events, like Johannesburg and Cape Town Fashion Week, brought international attention to African brilliance while celebrating its cultural roots. Yes, she travels by private jet, sports $80,000 Hermes Birkin bags, and wears haute couture straight from Paris runways, but she also uses that spotlight to empower others. At the same time, Precious used her wealth to deepen her focus on social impact. She's spearheaded programs addressing cervical and breast cancer, making healthcare more accessible to women, especially those in disadvantaged areas. Still, her luxurious lifestyle often overshadows these contributions in the public eye, creating a tension between perception and reality. For Precious Moloi Motsepe, spoiled takes on a new meaning, merging sophistication with purpose. Now, what happens when beauty itself fuels a billion-dollar legacy? Amazing. And you know what's amazing too? Subscribing to the channel. Now back to the video. Number 3, Hope Dworachik Smith.
Where's that carpet?
Can someone really go from the glamorous spotlight of Playboy magazine to becoming a name synonymous with philanthropy and business savvy? For Hope Dworachik Smith, the answer is a confident yes. Her story begins with Beauty, a former model crowned Playboy's Playmate of the Year in 2010. But what sets her apart is how she turned that beginning into a stepping stone for something much larger. Hope's high-profile marriage to Robert F. Smith, the billionaire chairman of Vista Equity Partners, catapulted her even further into the public eye. With a collection of $100,000 Richard Mille watches, custom gowns from Valentino, and access to a Gulfstream G650, her lifestyle is undeniably luxurious. Yet critics were quick to attach the label spoiled, a word often used without understanding the nuances of her life. Hope, however, defies that stereotype, managing her family's high-profile status alongside a deep commitment to causes she's passionate about. Her advocacy for maternal health has become a cornerstone of her philanthropic work. She's contributed to improving healthcare access for women, especially in underserved communities, focusing on better outcomes for mothers and their children. Through both her personal efforts and her family's contributions, she's helped fund programs addressing gaps in wellness and education. Hope Dworachik-Smith may have entered the public sphere through beauty, but she remains in it by redefining impact. So, how does the idea of indulgence evolve when placed in the hands of a rising Nollywood star? Number 4. Regina Daniels. What happens when the glitz of Nollywood meets the wealth of billionaire status? For Regina Daniels, the answer is a life both revered and scrutinized. Rising to fame as a child actress in Nigeria, she quickly became one of the most recognizable faces in cinema. But her marriage to Ned Nwoko, a billionaire businessman and philanthropist, took her from household name to tabloid fixation. The public fixates on the extravagance surrounding her. From $20,000 Hermes bags to diamond-studded Rolexes and a fleet of luxury cars, including a custom Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, Regina's lifestyle is pure spectacle. Her baby shower alone featured high-end gifting that went viral, complete with a Rolex timepiece and matching gold accessories. These moments, while glamorous, often earn her the label of spoiled.
Yes.
Yet behind the glitz, Regina is rewriting that narrative. Using her immense platform, she champions causes for children's rights and education in Nigeria. Her work with younger audiences emphasizes access to quality schooling and the importance of safeguarding children's futures. Despite her critics, she balances affluence with responsibility, showing that influence can serve a purpose beyond personal enjoyment. Regina Daniels challenges the very essence of the word spoil. After all, indulgence and impact don't have to live on opposite ends of the spectrum. What's next? A beauty queen rewriting the rules of business. Number 5. Dabota Lawson.
So mine says, in the chaos of motherhood.
How does a former beauty queen transform a crown into an empire? Dabota Lawson answered that question by turning her public image into the foundation for a thriving cosmetics brand, and in doing so, proving that beauty and business can go hand in hand. From her days on the pageant stage, Dabota carefully built a personal brand that she would later expand into a venture catering to Black women, a market historically overlooked by the beauty industry. Launching her cosmetics line wasn't without its struggles. Skepticism followed her every move, as critics underestimated her ability to transition from a glamorous background into the competitive world of business. Many dismissed her early efforts as a vanity project, a familiar challenge for women stepping into entrepreneurship, especially those emerging from a non-traditional career path. Dabota's response? Consistent, calculated efforts to prove her vision. She developed products tailored for diverse skin tones, addressing a glaring gap in the market, and created a brand rooted in empowerment and self-acceptance. Today, she lives in a Lagos penthouse with panoramic ocean views, steps out in custom Fendi and Louboutin heels, and accessorizes with $15,000 timepieces. But her journey hasn't been about ease or indulgence. It's been about persistence and resilience, redefining what spoiled could mean. Deboda Lawson's success story symbolizes breaking barriers, showing that behind the glitz lies a sharp understanding of innovation and business. Now, let's step into the life of a wife positioned at the heart of an industrial empire. Number 6, Shade Okoye.
Mama is very hardworking, and she's a real mother.
What does life look like when you marry into one of Nigeria's wealthiest families? For Shade Okoye, it's not just a question of luxury, it's about influence, responsibility, and redefining stereotypes. Her marriage to industrialist Chief Razak Okoye placed her in the upper echelons of Nigerian society, connecting her to a vast business empire and an even bigger public spotlight. From couture gowns sourced directly from Paris to a multi-million-dollar Lagos mansion that rivals presidential estates, Shade's lifestyle is unapologetically lavish. She's been spotted in Rolls-Royces with custom interiors, hosts soirees dripping in old money elegance, and wears rare jewelry that wouldn't look out of place at the Met Gala. But despite the perception that her life represents effortless privilege, Shade is deeply involved in her family's enterprises. While the exact details of her role remain private, there's no questioning her presence as a key figure in the operations. Her responsibilities demand balancing the polished image of a socialite with the strategic mindset required to contribute to an industrial powerhouse. It's a duality that demonstrates her ability to navigate two worlds effortlessly. Alongside her business endeavors, Shade uses her platform to promote education and youth empowerment in Nigeria. She's been active in initiatives that aim to uplift future generations, focusing her resources on creating opportunities that extend beyond her immediate sphere. By blending philanthropy with her high-profile lifestyle, she challenges the assumptions often tied to wealth. Shade Okoye's life invites us to reconsider what it means to be spoiled. Wealth may frame her reality, but it doesn't define her. Her actions do. Now let's meet a matriarch who shaped an entire music genre. Number 7, Titi Joyce Adenuga. How does a wife and mother carve out a legacy in Nigeria's booming music industry without ever stepping onto a stage? For Titi Joyce Adenuga, the answer lies in her invisible but undeniable impact as the matriarch of one of Nigeria's most influential musical dynasties. With D'banj and Don Jazzy, two of the country's biggest stars, as her sons, her role in fostering creativity and ambition becomes impossible to ignore. Titi's influence is seen in the foundation she provided during her sons' journeys to stardom. While her direct involvement in their careers isn't widely publicized, it's clear that her support, encouragement, and sacrifices played a pivotal role. Raising children in a high-pressure space like the entertainment industry often demands more than emotional investment. It requires resilience and guidance amid challenges like financial risks and public scrutiny. Today, the family name is linked not only to hit records, but also to sprawling estates, chauffeured Bentleys, and multi-million naira endorsements. Yet Titi has never been one to chase the spotlight. Her power has always been quiet but enduring. At the same time, the wealth generated from her sons' groundbreaking music careers has further solidified the Adenuga family's position in society. Yet, Titi's contributions to this success extend beyond material gain. Through the legacy of her family, she has left an unmistakable mark on Nigerian culture, influencing generations through fashion, language, and artistry shaped by her son's music. If spoiled means being rewarded for lifting others, Titi Joyce Adenuga redefines the term entirely. What happens when this same strength and influence cross into industry and culture? Number 8, Ifeyinwa Ibeto. Ifeyinwa Ibeto's name carries significant weight in Nigeria's industrial landscape. But can a leader of her stature truly be called spoiled? As a driving force behind the Ibeto Group, one of the country's largest conglomerates, she has solidified her reputation through industries that keep Nigeria's economy moving, most notably cement manufacturing, hospitality, and automotive services. Her role in these operations isn't nominal. Ifeyinwa brings precision, strategy, and an eye for longevity to a sector often marked by volatility. Through the Ibeto Cement Company, she champions sustainable methods that prioritize efficiency without sacrificing quality, consolidating the family business as a cornerstone of the nation's infrastructure. Simultaneously, her work in hospitality reflects her belief in showcasing Nigeria's rich culture through world-class service, often from the comfort of her family's multi-million-dollar private resort properties and designer-filled wardrobe that includes custom Chanel suits and Bulgari timepieces. Yet, her influence isn't confined to corporate boardrooms. Through targeted philanthropic efforts, she focuses resources on education and social welfare, creating opportunities for communities far removed from the industry she leads. Balancing public power with private life, Ifeyinwa also fulfills her roles as a wife and mother with quiet strength. Her ability to find equilibrium between these distinct worlds underscores the determination and vision required to succeed at such a scale. With her blend of leadership and innovation, Ifeyinwa Ibeto redefines spoiled as the culmination of hard work and purpose. Speaking of purpose, what happens when science meets effortless luxury? Number 9. Ifeoma Orji Uzor Kalu.
I built this country, I employed 13,800 workers. People employ nobody.
What does it mean to stand beside a man at the center of Nigeria's political turbulence while carving out your own legacy? Ifeoma Orji Uzor Kalu, wife of prominent yet controversial politician Orji Uzor Kalu, exists in this dual reality. Her life is one of immense visibility, where every detail, whether a public appearance or luxurious family moment, is scrutinized. Critics are quick to label her as spoiled, tying her privilege to lavish assumptions. But there's far more behind her public image than the surface reveals. Her role isn't confined to being a political partner. Ifeoma uses her platform to champion causes that deeply affect Nigerian society. Women's education is a cornerstone of her work, where she has funded initiatives aimed at improving access for young girls, especially in rural areas. Beyond education, she's a strong advocate for healthcare, with a focus on programs that provide necessary medical services to women unable to afford quality care. Her efforts directly address systemic inequalities in critical sectors, underlining her commitment to meaningful impact. Although her lifestyle includes luxury, it is balanced by leadership, proving spoiled doesn't define how far her reach extends. Ifeoma's contributions challenge the notion of indulgence being shallow, reframing it as a tool for progress. Next, imagine a Nollywood star transforming glamour into philanthropy. Number 10. Caroline Danjuma.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you don't even know what I went through with my child. So would that affect me mentally?
How does a Nollywood star use her fame to create lasting change? Caroline Danjuma, once a household name in Nigerian cinema during the early 2000s, turned her on-screen success into a powerful tool for philanthropy and entrepreneurship. Known for her roles in some of Nollywood's most beloved productions, she captivated audiences with her performances. But it's what she did after stepping away from acting that truly defines her legacy. Her transition to philanthropy wasn't accidental. Caroline leveraged the spotlight she had built during her film career to bring attention to issues often neglected. At the core of her mission lies child advocacy, where she focuses on improving access to education and providing essential support for orphans. She's contributed to programs that ensure vulnerable children don't fall through the cracks, showcasing her commitment to addressing some of the country's most pressing social gaps. And yet, much of the public discourse surrounding her continues to fixate on her luxurious lifestyle. From glamorous outfits to opulent events, critics frequently dismiss her as spoiled. But a closer look reveals the disconnect between surface-level judgment and her measurable impact. Caroline's story questions preconceived definitions of indulgence, reframing privilege as a pathway for purpose. What happens when this same blend of influence and action enters the world of sports and philanthropy? Number 11. Uchenna Uba. Can a woman navigate the charged world of politics, philanthropy, and advocacy, all while being labeled spoiled? Uchenna Uba's life seems to answer this question with one clear message. Privilege can be power when used purposefully. As the wife of a prominent Nigerian politician, she exists in a space where public perception is shaped by both her husband's career and the opulence her position exudes. But Uchenna's story runs much deeper than appearances. At the core of her work is a dedication to women's rights and economic empowerment. Recognizing the disproportionate struggles women face, she has supported initiatives creating opportunities for access to education and economic independence. These programs don't just uplift individuals, but, over time, challenge the long-standing gender imbalance within Nigerian society. Whether it is expanding educational resources or advocating for policies to promote equality, Uchenna focuses on creating pathways that disrupt generational cycles of systemic inequality. Her philanthropic efforts extend even further into tackling poverty. By investing in projects that provide critical resources to underserved communities, she's contributed visibly to improving education and healthcare outcomes in Nigeria. Critics may dwell on the trappings of her luxurious life, but Uchenna's actions point to a different reality. Privilege becomes meaningful when it works for others. Speaking of privilege, what happens when it's redefined in the world of sports? Number 12, Erica Donald.
Supporting sports in general, but especially women's sports. I'm an LSU graduate, so...
What does it take to step out of the shadow of an NFL superstar and create a legacy of your own? Erica Donald, wife of Aaron Donald, demonstrates that being an NFL wife can mean much more than glamour and game days. While her husband dominates the football field, Erica charts her own course as a marketing expert, philanthropist, and mental health advocate, redefining expectations in the process. Erica's background in marketing highlights her professional independence. She's not content to simply enjoy the comforts of her family's status. Instead, she uses her knowledge and skills to build a career that stands firmly on its own. This choice challenges the narrow perception of NFL wives as extensions of their partner's fame, positioning Erica as an accomplished professional in her own right. Her philanthropy reveals yet another layer of her multifaceted life. Erica actively supports underserved communities, focusing on initiatives that address inequality and offer resources where they're needed most. She also champions mental health awareness, emphasizing the importance of shifting public attitudes and reducing stigmas. This work reflects both compassion and a commitment to real societal change. Far from the stereotype of being spoiled, Erica Donald carefully balances her family life, career, and advocacy efforts. Hers is an example of privilege used with purpose, turning influence into action. Spoiled. It's a word that usually conjures images of indulgence or excess. Yet the Black wives we've explored today prove there's so much more to the story. Through leadership, philanthropy, and entrepreneurship, these women challenge shallow stereotypes while reshaping how we perceive privilege. Their wealth and influence aren't defined by extravagance, but by impact, supporting underserved communities, championing education, and empowering others. These stories remind us to look beyond the headlines, to see value where others might rush to judge. Redefining spoiled is about uncovering resilience and celebrating the profound contributions these women continue to make and will inspire for generations.